It's Thursday, June 11th. The Rundown is brought to you by Body Armor. It's a finally, unofficially summer. The weather is warming up, and that means it's time to stay hydrated with one of our favorite sports drinks, Body Armor. Body Armor has no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. It's potassium-packed and full of electrolytes with all the things that keep you hydrated during the summer months. Body Armor also tastes great. Big Cat loves the banana strawberry. I drink the Octagon orange. We also drink the Body Armor water, which is fresh, clean. It comes in those fat bottles, so you're going to stay hydrated during the warm months, whether you're drinking the sports drinks or the water from Body Armor. Learn more at drinkbodyarmor.com or order any other flavors on Amazon right now. Dan is moving. Portnoy's out. We got the homie Rone and Brandon Walker in the building. What's the matter, Brandon?
Oh, Dan's moving, but Portnoy's been doing some moving too. What are we going to talk about?
We got several topics on deck. We'll start with NASCAR pulling the plug on the Confederate flag. Bubba Wallace making quick work of that one. I would imagine, Brandon, I'll start with you. I would imagine maybe back home this is a more touchy subject, or you have some better insight than we do with the Confederate flag. So your thoughts on NASCAR finally just pulling the plug on the whole option?
A, I would have been just fine with you starting with Rone on this one, but B, it is a touchy subject back home, and it's one that
you know what, Brandon? I don't think they fly the Confederate flag in Philadelphia, so fuck off.
At all.
Are you okay? Why'd you do that?
Because it's obviously this is up your alley, Brandon.
Okay, I got it. I'm going to take it. I don't know why he got that angry about it. Okay. All right, Kevin. Shit.
Fuck you too. Whoa.
There. We all mad. Okay. Now, it's a very hot topic in Mississippi. I have been anti-Confederate flag for a long time. I'm trying to fight to get it removed from – I come from the one state that has a Confederate flag in its state flag right now. It's the only one left. I need to get it out of there. I need to change minds about Mississippi. I need to be able to make people think we're not all just backwoods. We are moving forward. Now, NASCAR, I know everybody's giving NASCAR a lot of credit. I don't know if they're giving them enough credit, because NASCAR makes a lot of money off the segment of this country that still believes in the Confederate flag. This is a bold and right move for NASCAR, and credit to them for doing it. Bubba Wallace, the driver that kind of spearheaded this thing, NASCAR is stepping on its own profits right here, and good for them for fucking doing it, because it is a long time coming.
And it is a long time coming, but for this round, it was fast, man. I mean, Bubba Wallace made it into a thing, and a matter of days later, they said, like, it's completely gone. I think it's interesting, though, to see that, because it's like they're stepping on their profits, yes. And maybe, I don't know, the NASCAR audience as well, but you think that people are really going to give up on the sport because of it?
I think that there will be a momentary setback, just like there was a momentary setback with the NFL. You had a lot of people chirping at the NFL and saying down south, I'll never watch the NFL again. And then the Super Bowl had its highest ratings ever.
For sure.
There's going to be some people grandstanding. And the people that do this, the people that grandstand about Confederate flag, are pretty much going to do it on Facebook, because those people really aren't on Twitter or Instagram or anything else. It's the old fogies on the Facebook. So I think you're going to get a lot of heritage, not hate posts on Facebook, stuff like that. It's the same regurgitation of the same old tired arguments that just don't matter anymore. Mm-hmm. I am happy for NASCAR, and I believe this is a good step in the future of that sport.
I don't really buy the stepping on the profits argument as if we should be giving them like extra credit about this. Like if NASCAR doesn't do this, then they completely wipe out the new generation of fans that we know they are desperately trying to get. So we can't be patting them on the back just because they turned down a little bit of now money, when all they're trying to do is get future money. If they were really about this, then they would have been doing this at every single NASCAR race from fucking Indiana to Daytona, where people are still wearing and flying a Confederate flag. You don't get to wear that flag, especially in the fucking North. You shouldn't be able to just flap it at fucking Dover or fucking Indianapolis or any of these speedways. This is something they should have done a long time ago, and it's obvious. It's like crazy that I have to say that.
Yeah,
no,
but
you're right. But I will say this: I think we finally reached the point, finally, as a country, where I believe now that flag is about to be a distant memory. I think it's about to be wiped off all legitimate books ever. And for somebody that comes from a state that I love, but I hate the backwardness that permeates my state, the fact that NASCAR did this is allowing my state to finally get into the 20th century, even though we're in the 21st. So I don't mean to give NASCAR too much credit, but every time a domino falls, you at least have to say it's good that that domino fell.
Yeah, I think that we could always say there's a lot of different things that different organizations and all of society should have been doing. But because they haven't been doing it, when you finally make the move and make the decision, I'm not saying we should throw a party. I'm not saying, don't hurt yourself, pat yourself on the back. But it's better than not. And we've seen other leagues who are hesitant or big corporations who are hesitant to, ruffle any feathers. And they did it fucking quick this time. So you're right that they might benefit, but it's still the right move, right?
I also don't buy that this is like some like liberal, like soft talking point or something like that. Like we're talking about a flag being flown after a fucking war. Like does the Germany flag look like the Nazi flag or does it look like the Germany flag anymore?
Right.
Like we should be cracking down. You don't even know these other flags anymore because nobody flies the flag of the losing side. Like what the fuck are we talking about? Do we have to run back the war?
Especially, no, we don't need a civil war, but I think it is crazy that people are like, well, there's some like good memories associated. It's like, well, I'm sure you could say that about the Nazi flag and every other flag. It's not. There's other things at play, but when the major sticking point was fucking slavery, that's what that flag's going to represent. You don't get to be like, well, no, guys. It's like, no, come on, use your brain here.
No, even the ones that say heritage, not hate, or know they're talking in circles. They know they're talking the wrong language.
It's heritage, not hate. It just so happens that my heritage is hate. And I'm like Linus from Charlie Brown, and that treason rag is my security blanket, and I don't feel safe if I can't have it.
They know that. They're trying to stick up for a South that they never even lived in. I've never lived in it, and I never want to live in it. So I look at the whole Confederate flag thing as something that is finally dying the quick and painful death it deserved to die a long time ago. I will say this, Ron. You said this is not a liberal soft talking point, and I agree. I don't think we're at a point anymore where getting rid of the Confederate flag should be a conservative or liberal issue, because I think I am more conservative than I am liberal, and I have been staunchly against getting rid of this thing for years. And I think in my state, even if you had a conservative party only vote, that flag would fall. So I don't really think it falls along the staunch lines of party anymore as it did 30 years ago. I think the ones that still fly the flag are just they're so far in one corner of a party that there's no talking to them.
So today I'm gonna raise my emotional support beer to you, NASCAR, cause I'm done. And you're gonna need this once all us fans boycott you. I'm done. And I'll see you at the Brickyard 400 in July.
What are your thoughts on statues? The statues are being torn down. Christopher Columbus got beheaded.
Christopher Columbus beheaded in Boston.
R.I.P. Christopher Columbus.
Well, I think you got to be realistic about this. Like in England, they're taking down some Churchill statues, and I mean, my God, that's lunacy. That's insanity. Columbus taking down whatever. I saw one in Philly. I don't know what city it was. Maybe it was Philly. Maybe it wasn't. But an early abolitionist who was fighting for the release of slaves 30 years before the Civil War. His statue was ripped down, and he was an absolute fighter for civil rights back then. So I'm sorry I don't know the name, and maybe Michelangelo, you can find that on the edit, but we got to use our heads about these things.
Yeah, people are excited to tear stuff down, even from like a system point of view. I mean, obviously Christopher Columbus participated in a genocide. Obviously, like King Leopold in Belgium, like was as destructive from a body count standpoint as Hitler was. And so it's like, I'm not going to go on the side of the genocider. I'm not like fucking pro Joseph Kony over here or anything like that. But like the slippery slope could just leave us in a statueless society.
You're just worried about Rocky Balboa getting torn down. I know where you're going. I know where you're going. I would say this. I don't give a fuck about statues, period, good or bad. So if an abolitionist got taken down or Winston Churchill got taken down, but it also means that a bunch of like racist fucking Civil War generals get taken down, I'm not losing sleep over it. I think anybody who's acting like
there's got to be a line, though. There's got to be a line. I guess,
but honestly, are you really that bent out of shape about Winston Churchill?
That's a fact, dude. I don't give a fuck about statues. You spend time thinking about statues except for when people are yanking them down. That's how I felt about the Joe Paterno statue. Like, take it or leave it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to rip down the Nick Saban statue in Tuscaloosa tomorrow. I would like to do that. But I'm just saying, if you are doing this and you're using your conscience to guide you and you're doing it as some sort of political stance, then don't fucking tear down the statue of the guy that agreed with you 100 years before it was cool to agree with you.
No, there's no debating that. That's obviously backwards logically. I'm just saying that this
on the Lincoln Monument, he was a Republican.
Bro, take it. You could take every statue down. Nothing would change in my life. And I think that's the way for the vast majority of people. Unless you're fucking like Indiana Jones with a deep historical love. These statues you didn't even know about half these statues until right fucking now.
Right. What if you were in Lower Manhattan and you saw a mob taking down the Statue of Liberty? That wouldn't bother you at all?
I mean, that would be pretty extreme because that's a big fucking statue. I'd want to know how they did it.
Mob.
I mean,
Statue of Liberty, though, might as well be the Rocky statue. They're both fictional characters. I think we should only be building statues of fictional characters.
Good idea.
Liberty isn't fictional.
Liberty is fictional, apparently, Brandon.
Liberty isn't fictional.
Speaking of taking things too far, we've also got these protesters in Seattle who have taken over a chunk of the city. They're calling it the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, the CHAZ, Chaz. They have put up fences. They've taken over a precinct, and they it's kind of like an Occupy Wall Street sort of thing. It's almost like a New Amsterdam in The Wire. There's no rules. There's no laws. What?
Nothing.
There's no rules and no laws in this region. They invited a bunch of homeless people to join them because it's a happy, peaceful place. And the homeless people just wiped them out, stole all their food.
Don't forget to give it to a crack addict.
And now they're asking for donations of vegan replacements and soy food products and tofu, which is just about the most fucking ridiculous new age modern liberal thing I've ever heard.
Now, this whole taking over a city block sounds like a federal crime. Are we talking about that?
Well, that's the thing. If the other side were to do this, it would be considered like a militia. It would be considered rogue vigilante. You'd probably be called a terrorist. So probably a lot of double standards going on right here.
There's just people who are like doing this, who are joining up this hardcore cause that like are finding out really quickly that they're not about it. Like there are people who are they're like, we're about to start a new society and there's not going to be any police or whatever. And then one person gets robbed and they're like, police.
What about you?
What do you mean?
I love when they're asking for to like abolish like just civilization as we know it, like just get rid of society, but also Cash App, Venmo me for my donation so I can build this thing up. It's like you can't have it both ways, and I think everybody's realizing not that easy to just run a fucking society like with no rules.
They're also brave as hell for taking over the incredibly crazy city of Seattle.
Yeah.
Wow, it really stretched out there. Seattle probably said, okay, go ahead. We don't give a shit.
Yeah. That's basically, I thought, how Seattle already was. Just no law, eating tofu. Like, what's even different right now in the autonomous zone? So, yeah, that's about the most Seattle thing that's ever happened.
Like 15 Starbucks in that camp.
Right.
No umbrellas, no roofs or whatever. They're just getting soaked.
Second half of the rundown is brought to you by Mack Weldon. We're wrapping up quarantine here, and Mack Weldon has been my go-to loungewear, basically. But the best part is when I come out and we got to go back to work and get back out there in society, everything Mack Weldon makes can be worn both in or out. It can be worn to relax. It can be worn to dress up and be stylish. You can wear it to the gym. It's like athleisure wear mixed with fashion, mixed with comfort. It's everything you need. Underwear, socks, shirts, undershirts, hoodies, sweatpants. Some of the most comfortable clothes I've ever worn, but they perform as well. Everyday life, no matter what your life consists of. They have a new line of silver underwear and shirts that are naturally antimicrobial, which means they eliminate odor. So your stinky ass, Brandon, you won't even smell bad when you wear those.
Fuck you, dude!
And they want everyone to be comfortable. So if you don't like your first pair of underwear, you can keep it and they will refund you. No questions asked. They have a Mack Weldon Blue program. where level 1, members get free shipping. Level 2, once you spend $200 or more, you save 20% on every order for the rest of the year. So they reward the people who are loyal to them. Go to macweldon.com/rundown and get 20% off your first order. That's macweldon.com/rundown.
Did Matt Weldon pay extra for the insult to me?
No, I just that was just for me. That made me feel better.
Free.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Matt Weldon.
Yeah. We got, what else do we got here? The celebrities are at it again. This time, Aaron Paul, Sarah Paulson,
I take responsibility.
Justin Theroux,
Every unfair stereotype.
Stanley Tucci.
I will no longer allow racist, hurtful words, jokes, stereotypes, no matter how big or small.
Bunch of like big
You're
names.
gonna name a celebrity.
Come on. Those are big names.
You recognize them when you see them.
Yeah.
Who's Stanley Tucci?
You know him. He's that bald guy from The Devil Wears Prada.
With the face.
You would for sure know him. He's awesome. Fuck you, Brandon. Who are you? Who's Brandon Walker to be calling out Stanley Tucci?
Are you okay?
I'm fine. This is just my normal disposition. I don't know what you're so surprised by.
Okay.
These people are clowns, though. How do you not recognize after the Gal Gadot situation
Imagine there's no heaven.
that you're about to get dragged over the coals for this? They are more culpable than the first wave of people that did this because it's a fool me twice type of situation. You've seen what the backlash is, and you still think that you're about to solve this shit from your voice behind the screen.
I will make my presence known.
It's the most narcissistic, self-driven, and I'm the least surprised of it that I should be. What are they going to learn?
And they do black and white. They put the piano over it.
Every time I explained away police brutality.
And you can see them fucking reading the screen. Like this is not genuine at all. It was a script. It's like, can't you guys memorize some lines? You're fucking actors. The whole thing felt like they were on an audition or putting on a scene. And while I recognize it's tough because people are like, oh, you have a platform, you should say something. And if you don't, then your silence is complicit. And if you do, people trash it because you're tone deaf and you're rich and you're living in your ivory tower. But it's not that hard. It's not that much to ask to just be genuine. If you made a video being like, this is crazy, like, let's try to be better and be nice to each other, it would be a lot better than, Aaron Paul is just being Jesse Pinkman on this video.
Call out hate. Step up, bitch.
There's nothing genuine about it.
Are we going to spoof this one too?
We probably should, to be honest.
I don't know if I can live up to the legacy of the great Stanley Tucci.
I will not stand for Stanley Tucci slander on this show, Brandon.
Sounds like another name for vagina.
Huh. I mean, Rone, please tell me you're down with Stanley Tucci.
I recognized every face that I saw in that video, and they all look like assholes. But it's almost like was this organized by like their agents or something like that? Like, who put this together? Who is in charge of this? And who has this much, how are there this many people close to them that can give them bad ideas and not one person that can give one of them one good idea? That's
why I've always said we should get into the PR game and have these people send it to Barstool bloggers and be like, are you going to make fun of this? And if our answer is yes, then you don't post it. Because you just need a normal person to say this is stupid.
They should just pull out their assholes and fart, "We are the world." Just like in different television.
I just see PR people. Let's email this to Barstool Nate and see what he thinks. Oh wait, it didn't pass the Nate test.
You are gross. You fucking suck, Nate.
Ricochet shot for Stanley Tucci and Nate. Jesus Christ, Brandon.
That wasn't a ricochet shot. That was a shot.
Clean shot. Clean shot. We got from the NBA, Fat Boy Jokic is now like skinny Porzingis Jokic out here. I don't know if this was a quarantine effect or if this is like on purpose, but this is a bad idea. There are certain fat athletes that need to be fat, and when you get skinny like this, you lose your mojo.
I never wanted to see his skeleton. He's all skeleton. He lost all his weight like in his shoulders and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And now you can see them. He looks like a fucking coat hanger. He looks terrible. Fatten that boy up.
Yup.
It does just seem like his weight went down, and like if you scrolled all the way down the picture, like his calves would be gigantic or something.
It's like a candle. It's like a melting candle just going to the bottom. I mean, I'm like, obviously, if you get in great shape, that's probably a good thing. But I do think when you're one of like the last big men, and although he's very finesse with it, like I saw Porzingis do this, and he was frail and he was injury prone. And when you have a body looking like that at that height, I actually don't know if it's a good idea. Like all jokes aside, but has he? We just saw this like video, right? He hasn't said anything, or do we know if this was like his weight loss plan?
No, I think this is just the video just dropped, and all of a sudden we're just supposed to accept Skinny Jokic.
Nope, not happening. I want him to look like you, Brandon.
Doesn't count.
That's all I can hit.
I thank you very much. I do think we need more fat athletes, period.
Mm-hmm. You know what? That should be your cause. This is like skinnyism. This is like body shaming. We need fat athletes everywhere. And until we do that,
we need more Cecil Fielder. We need more Prince Fielders. We need more Jokic's. We need more David Wells.
I mean, look, CeCe did it best. He was a fat athlete and then lost weight in retirement. Go ahead and do that. But if you're a fat athlete in your playing days, stay fat.
Joe Thomas is skinny in retirement. He was a fat offensive lineman when he was playing. Like I completely agree. We need more fats.
Offensive linemen are weird. Offensive linemen will retire and be skinny in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, offensive linemen might not be fat. I used to think all hockey goalies were fat because all their pads and because of Goldberg and everything like that. And then like I find out that they're like hot skinny guys like fucking Lundqvist.
Has there ever been a really, really, really fat NHL goalie?
I've always thought about that. If you put like a huge dude in bigger pads, doesn't he just eat up the whole goal?
Like put up Yokozuna. I mean, let's get through that.
Nobody's scoring on Frank the Tank. I'll tell you that much.
At all. Yeah.
Shit. And you know what? Now, ask and we shall receive. Glenny Balls, professional athlete. A new fat athlete is out there. His name is Glennard Balls.
But
so
he lost 20 pounds over quarantine.
Okay,
I know.
That's what he said, though. Do we have any proof of that?
You calling him a liar?
No, I'm just saying. He put out a golf video last week. I didn't look at that golf video and be like, wow, he's lost a lot of weight.
Wow.
He carries it well.
Wow, Brandon.
I love Glenny Balls. I'm just saying.
You though, because it sounds like you're calling him fat and a liar.
I thought everybody called Glenny Balls fat. I didn't mean to call him fat.
Not me.
Wow.
Not me. I don't see
I
weight.
That's why I got hired.
I don't see weight.
One more thing with Jokic, though. He's always been wearing those bomber jackets in every one of these videos. Mm-hmm. And I've watched enough 600-pound life to know that when fat people lose that much weight, the skin has to go somewhere. I think when he takes off the bomber jacket, he's in a pool of skin. It just pulls out at his feet.
Could you imagine that if it was like tucked into his jersey? Like if you're in the post and you're trying to put an arm on him and you're just grabbing fucking dough. I would rather legit be fat than have the skin situation and be thin. That's gross.
Seriously, a lot of people deal with that. And it's a whole other surgery, and most people can't even get that surgery to like tighten up the skin because then it's like part of your body. Then just like your stomach is in your elbow and you need that.
That was disgusting. That was disgusting. That's it for the rundown. I see, Brandon, you have the WWF Superstar shirt. Almost any other day, I would give the award to you. But Rone rocking the Juvenile shirt. Is that 500 Degrees?
Yes.
Yes. 400 Degrees, excuse me. That album, that whole like Cash Money, when every album looked like that, just big gold letters with fire and chicks and cars, was the best phase in hip-hop history. I love that.
Yeah,
album covers were fucking amazing back then.
It was all like a word art. Like this is clearly just like a word art font, and they were just like playing with different word art templates that they could make. It's incredible.
It's just when everybody had gold goblets and fat asses and fancy cars and just exploding things. It was just a great time in history. Brandon, are you a big Cash Money guy, Brandon?
Yeah, I was a huge Cash Money guy. I was a No Limit soldier, and then I was kind of a Cash Money guy, but I went into Outkast, so I kind of rode with Outkast the rest of my life.
Were you you're out here saying on a gold tank?
No, yes.
Nah. Were you a Silk the Shocker fan?
Not as much, but there was that whole group. I think there was Mystical, Sickle Shocker, C Murder, all those guys. You don't expect me to be listening to them, but in 1998, West Point High School, I was absolutely listening
I'm very surprised by that. I did not think you would be down with that, but
profiling.
I am 100% profiling you as a old white guy. Yes.
Yes, Ron.
You were old when you were young.
Yeah.
Brandon Walker has been. How old are you now? I think you're like 42. You're 48, and you have been 48 for 20 years.
I was quite a striking figure back about 15 years ago, Kevin. I was a good-looking guy. I was an athlete. I only listened to the best music and ate the best food.
We saw that picture of you at the wrestling event, Brandon. We know that that's not true. You can't keep up this facade anymore.
I went to the most civilized places. I went to Monday Night Raw in 1999. I saw the Rock beat Mankind in a ladder match. You can't fuck with me.
All right, that's it, boys. Anything else?
Are you? Hey, you in the top corner. Are you writing down to go look at that 1999 Raw picture? Please don't put that up.
Yeah, you've got to put that up.
I'm actually writing down email Rone to see if he can send me the photo if he has it.
It's out there, Brandon. Just send it to me, Brandon.
It's on my Twitter. Just
cut out the middleman, all right?
All right, I'll go straight to the source.
All right, boys. I got to go walk the dog. Let me grab the leash. Catch you.